Hi guys, welcome back to Robbie D's Kitchen. I'm Robin and today I'm going to be making some smothered pot chops featuring some garlic mashed potato. So let's get into the video. First, I'm going to start off by seasoning my meat. So I have 4 pork chops there and I already washed them with vinegar, lime, and water, and also a little bit of salt. So here I'm just seasoning them with some onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, a little bit of this sweet smoky seasoning I don't remember the name of right now, but everything will be listed down below as well as the measurements, so check the description box for all of that information. And be sure to season both sides. I also use some smoked paprika and rubbing that in there, and then I will let that sit whilst I work on the mashed potatoes. So my potatoes are already peeled and chopped up into cubes. And just an overview of everything you will need. You'll need some garlic butter, a few cloves of garlic, as well as milk, and then your salt and pepper. Once my water has come to a boil for my potatoes, I'm just gonna add some salt. And then I will add my diced potatoes as well as the cloves of garlic because I will be boiling that with the potatoes, so I can just mash it in there and then you get that nice garlic flavor. As for the amount of garlic cloves you add, you can add as little or as much as you like. It just depends on how much you like garlic and what type of flavor you're going for. So I was going for a stronger garlic flavor but not too overpowering, so that's exactly what I got with that amount. Once everything is in there, I'm just gonna partially cover the pot just so it doesn't boil over. And then once that's been boiling for about, I would say 15-20 minutes, you wanna check your potatoes. And once they are fork tender, you're just gonna strain off the water and be mindful of your garlic so that it doesn't fall out into your drain or anything like that. And once that's strained, you're going to add your milk and butter and all that good stuff. So I like to keep my pot on the stove so that the heat can kind of melt the butter and warm the milk and all that. I don't really like my ingredients to be mixed in with the potatoes when it's cold, so I let them sit out so that they're room temperature before I add them into my pot. And here I'm just mashing everything together. And you want to make sure that you're mashing the garlic cloves pretty good, just because you don't want big chunks of mushy garlic. You want that to combine with the potatoes, so just keep mashing until everything is nice and blended and you get the consistency that you're looking for. So after that's to the appropriate consistency I want, I'm gonna add my salt and pepper, and that's it. I didn't think it needed much more seasoning just because the garlic added so much flavor. Now that the mashed potatoes are done, we're going to get working on the smothered pork chop. So I'm going to be adding some mushrooms into mine. These are white mushrooms, and I'm chopping them pretty thick so that when they cook, they don't wither away. If you don't like mushrooms, you can obviously not use them or use something else if you'd prefer. So everything that is going to be used for the gravy is on the screen. So of course the mushrooms have some garlic butter, some flour, mustard seeds, as well as some regular mustard and Leon Perkins Worcestershire sauce. And I also have some beef stock cubes. You can just use beef broth, but I didn't have any. To my pan, I'm gonna be adding some oil, and my pan is on medium heat, and I'm just gonna be frying my pork chops on both sides for about 6 to 8 minutes per side, or until done. If you're using pork chops with bone in it, then it'll take a little bit longer than if it didn't have any bone in it. So be mindful of that, but you don't want to overcook them because then they can be too tough. So yeah, just watch them, and you want to make sure that they're golden brown. And once they're done on one side, I'm just gonna flip them and cook on the other side. Once I'm finished cooking my pork chops, I'm going to add the mushrooms into that same pan and just saute them a little bit until they're nice and golden. And then I'm going to take them out and I'm going to work on my gravy. Again, using the same pan, I'm just going to add some butter and I'm just going to let that melt down. Once the butter is melted, I'm gonna go ahead and add my flour in there a little at a time. And you want to keep mixing this because you don't want anything to burn and you don't want it to taste like flour. So you just want to keep mixing it until it starts to turn a golden brown color. So I'm going to be mixing it for the most part. You can stop every now and again, but for the most part I mixed it because I didn't want it to burn. Can taste it as you mix, just if you're not sure, because the golden brown color is really light. So if you're not sure if the roux is ready, you can taste it, because if it tastes like flour, then it's not done. And once your roux is done, now you're going to be adding in your heavy cream. I forgot to mention that, but it will be listed down below as well as the measurements. So I just added that kind of little at a time just because it starts to thicken up. But you want to keep mixing just so that it's incorporated. And I'm also going to be adding in the cubes and kind of breaking them up. And along with that, I will be adding a cup of water per cube. So I use 2, so I'll add 2 cups of water. Once that's added, I'm just going to be adding in some seasoning. Always taste your pot. So I'm going to add some black pepper. Now I'm going to be adding in the Worcestershire sauce. Just playing around with measurements and tasting as I go. And I'll be also adding in the mustard seeds and the mustard. You don't necessarily have to use the mustard seeds. I just used them because I didn't have regular mustard. I had honey mustard. Once the gravy tastes to my liking, I'm going to be adding back the mushrooms into the pot as well as the pork chops, and I'm just going to let that simmer for a little bit and then it will be ready to plate. As for a time frame, I probably let it simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes. This is how it looked when it was all done. I added a side of avocado or pear. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also like, comment, and share. And until next time, bye!